Your hand is shaking as you fold the receipt into quarters. 45 seconds. That's all you have before the dessert course arrives and the bullets start flying. Your thumb smears the ballpoint ink slightly as you press the paper flat, making sure the 7 words are still legible. Your fiancé just ordered your execution. The Golden Lotus restaurant hums around you with the low frequency of wealth, crystal kissing porcelain, muted laughter, silk against leather. You've been serving tables here for 8 months, and you know every sound, every rhythm. But tonight, something is wrong. Horribly, fatally wrong. Table 7 sits in the corner booth, the best table, the one with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Chicago's glittering skyline. Kang Min-jun occupies it like a throne, his back to the glass, sharp jawline catching candlelight. His black hair is slicked back, his Tom Ford suit probably costs more than your entire year's rent. He looks like he was carved from marble and brought to life. Beside him, Sophia Chen leans close, whispering something that makes her red lips curve into a smile. Diamond earrings throw fractured rainbows across the white tablecloth. She looks like a woman in love. She's not. 20 minutes ago, you heard her order his death. The wine cellar isn't really a cellar, it's a temperature-controlled vault in the basement, all glass walls and soft lighting. You'd been sent down to grab a 2015 Bordeaux for table 3 when you heard voices. Female, sharp, speaking rapid Mandarin. You froze between the Cabernets and the Merlots, your hands still reaching for the bottle. Yes, he's at table 7 by the window. Sophia's voice carried that distinctive Beijing accent you'd learned to recognize from regulars. The others are already in position. 1 at the bar, 3 near the kitchen. Your breath caught. You should have announced yourself, cleared your throat, made your presence known. Instead, you pressed yourself against the wine rack and listened. You'll have a clean shot as soon as dessert arrives. The flambe will provide distraction, everyone will be watching the flames. The bottle in your hand suddenly felt impossibly heavy. She continued in English now, her voice dropping, make it look like a rival family. Quick, clean, no traces back to us. Heels clicked against stone, moving toward the stairs. You pressed deeper into shadows, praying the expensive vintages would hide you. Through gaps between bottles, you caught a glimpse of her, elegant white dress, dark hair swept up, diamonds catching light. Sophia Chen. Min-jun's fiancé. Chicago society's golden couple. She disappeared up the stairs, her perfume lingering, something expensive that now smelled like funeral flowers. When you finally forced yourself back upstairs, your brain was sprinting through what you'd heard. Table 7 by the window. 1 at the bar. 3 near the kitchen. Clean shot during dessert. You scanned the restaurant with new eyes. The man at the bar, mid-30s in a dark suit, nursing scotch he hadn't actually drunk in 20 minutes. Not watching the game on screen, watching table 7. 3 men near the kitchen entrance, menus open but never ordering. 2 with their backs to walls. The third with his hand inside his jacket. Your heart hammered against your ribs so hard you thought it might crack bone. You could walk away. Clock out. Call in sick. Let whatever was about to happen just happen. Men like Kang Min-jun didn't end up in your world by accident. Everyone knew what he was, Korean Mafia, underground king of Chicago's Koreatown. He'd earned enemies. Maybe he deserved this. But then you thought about your father in that hospital bed on the south side, hooked to machines that beeped his life in steady intervals. You thought about every nurse who'd stayed late to hold his hand when you couldn't afford to miss a shift. Every act of mercy unearned and freely given. You thought, I can't just let someone die. So you grabbed a receipt from your apron, clicked your pen, and wrote 7 words that would either save his life or end yours. Each step toward table 7 feels like walking through water. Time stretches and contracts. You're hyper-aware of everything, the scratch of polyester against your skin, the squeak of your shoes on marble, the way Sophia's laugh sounds like breaking glass. You're McAllen 25, sir. Your voice comes out steady, professional, like you haven't just overheard a murder plot. You set the crystal glass on the white tablecloth with practiced precision. Then you do the thing every server is trained never to do. You touch him. Your thumb presses against the back of his hand as you slide the folded receipt beneath his coaster. The contact lasts maybe half a second, a violation of every boundary between his world and yours. Minjun's eyes snap to yours. They're darker than you expected, not cold exactly, but calculating. The kind of eyes that see through skin and bone straight into intention. Read it, you mouth. Please. His fingers curl around the receipt, palm covering it completely. Sophia's voice cuts through the moment, sweet and poisonous. Is there a problem with the service? Minjun's expression doesn't change. He lifts his glass, takes a slow sip, and with his other hand unfolds the note beneath the table where she can't see. You stand there, tray clutched to your chest, watching his face for any reaction. Nothing. Not a flicker. Then his jaw tightens. Imperceptible unless you're looking for it. He knows. Welcome back, lovers of danger and dark romance. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. What happens next will leave you breathless. Comment where you're watching from. I love seeing our community span the globe. Now let's dive back in. Minjun sets his glass down with a soft clink. When he speaks, his voice is smooth, controlled, the kind of calm that precedes violence. I'd like to propose a toast. Sophia blinks. Now. We haven't even. Now. He gestures to you without looking away from her. Another glass for my fiancé. You hesitate, looking between them. Sophia's smile falters, something tightening around her eyes. I already have wine, she says carefully. Then you'll have whiskey too. Not a request. You walk back to the bar on autopilot, pour the second Macallan with trembling hands. The man on the stool turns slightly, tracking your movement. Your skin prickles. When you return, Minjun takes the glass from you and sets it in front of Sophia. To loyalty, he says softly. To loyalty, she echoes, but her voice wavers. They drink. Nothing happens, the whiskey isn't poisoned. But Sophia's hesitation confirmed everything. Minjun leans back, one arm draped over the booth. Tell me, Sophia. Do you believe in fate? What? Fate. Destiny. The idea that certain moments are inevitable. Her fingers tighten on her glass. I suppose. I didn't either. His eyes find yours, really looking at you for the first time. Taking in your name tag, your face, the fear you can't quite hide. Until about 90 seconds ago. The lights go out. Not gradual, absolute. Like someone threw a blanket over the sun. Darkness swallows the golden lotus whole. Crystal crashes. A woman screams. Minjun moves. 1 second you're standing upright. The next, you're being propelled through the kitchen doors with enough force to knock air from your lungs. Emergency lighting kicks in, dim red bulbs turning everything into a nightmare. Left, Minjun's voice cuts through chaos. Run. You run. Behind you comes the sound of impact, flesh on flesh, a grunt of pain, something metallic skittering across tile. You risk a glance back. Minjun fights like violence is a first language. A man in chef's whites lunges with a blade. Minjun catches his wrist, twists, drives an elbow into his throat. 3 more come through the swinging doors. The girl, one shouts. Grab the girl. Terror shoots through you like electricity. You grab the first thing your hand finds, a pan of hot oil on the range, and without thinking, you hurl it. It catches him across the face. His screams are inhuman. Move, Nia. Minjun is suddenly beside you, hand at your back, propelling you forward. You burst through the rear exit into Chicago winter. The cold slams into you like a freight train, stealing breath from your lungs. Your server uniform, thin polyester designed for climate-controlled elegance, is criminally inadequate. A black SUV sits at the alley's end, engine running. Minjun throws you into the back seat, dives in after you. Drive! The vehicle lurches forward. Behind you, figures spill from the restaurant. One raises a weapon. The rear window spiderwebs but doesn't break. Bulletproof glass. Inside the SUV, silence descends except for your ragged breathing. Minjun speaks rapid Korean to the driver, instructions you can't parse. Blood streaks his white shirt. You're hurt, you manage. I'm fine. His attention snaps to you. Let me see your arm. You look down. The sleeve of your blouse is torn, spotted with blood. Something grazed you during the chaos, you hadn't even felt it. His fingers are surprisingly gentle examining the wound. Lucky. A few inches closer. Lucky? You laugh, slightly hysterical. I just burned a man's face off and got shot at in a restaurant. That's your definition of lucky? You're alive. His dark eyes meet yours. That's the only definition that matters. The driver says something in Korean. Minjun responds, then turns back to you. We're going somewhere safe. Somewhere they won't look tonight. They? You mean Sophia and you stop. Who else is trying to kill you? His jaw tightens. My half-brother. Apparently, he's not as dead as I thought. The fortress, because that's what it is, sits on a promontory overlooking Lake Michigan. Walls, guards, security that would make the Pentagon jealous. The mansion itself is pure brutalism, concrete and glass, all harsh angles. Minjun leads you inside, through an elevator that requires retinal scans, into a penthouse that's more museum than home. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Minimalist furniture. Everything gray, concrete floors, steel fixtures, slate upholstery. You can't keep me here, you say, trying to sound defiant rather than terrified. Can't I? He moves to a sideboard, pours amber liquid into crystal. What's your alternative? Go home and wait for them to find you? I didn't do anything wrong. You cost them money, power, and reputation. In my world, that makes you dangerous. He turns to face you. They will want to know what you heard, what you saw, and whether you're going to become a problem. So I'm your prisoner? You're my responsibility. Something flickers across his face. There's a difference. 3 days pass. Your father is moved to a private suite, better equipment, better doctors, round-the-clock care. Minjun arranges it with a single phone call, like reorganizing someone's entire life is normal. Why are you doing this, you ask one morning over breakfast. Because you saved my life. That doesn't mean you own me. His eyes meet yours over the rim of his coffee cup. I don't want to own you, Nia. I want to keep you alive long enough to destroy the people who tried to kill us both. Us? You're part of this now. The moment you wrote that note, you stepped into my world. He leans forward. And I need your help. You should refuse. Should demand he let you go. But you hear yourself ask, what do you need? The plan is insane. That's what you tell him repeatedly over the next week as he trains you how to shoot, how to fight, how to move through his world without getting killed. Sophia and my brother are consolidating power through marriage, he explains, showing you satellite images of an estate. The ceremony is in 2 days. We're going to crash it. That's suicide. Only if we fail. His smile is cold as winter. And I don't plan on failing. You learn he's methodical, brilliant, ruthless. You learn his half-brother stole from the family years ago, was exiled, presumed dead. You learn Sophia was his plant all along, the engagement just a way to get close enough to kill. You also learn that when Minjun looks at you, something in your chest catches fire. It happens gradually, then all at once. His hands adjusting your grip on a weapon. His body pressed against yours during training. The way he checks on you each morning, asking about your father, making sure you're okay. Why do you care, you ask one night. Because you were willing to die for me. His voice is rough. You didn't know me. Didn't owe me anything. But you threw yourself into danger anyway. I couldn't just let you die. Most people would have. He steps closer. You're not most people, Nia Brooks. When he kisses you, it tastes like danger and destiny tangled together. The wedding day arrives too fast. You wear a dress with ballistic weave sewn into the bodice. Diamond earrings that are really transmitters. Makeup that transforms you into someone who belongs among Chicago's elite. Remember, Min Jun says in the car. Stay close. Trust nothing. And if things go wrong. I know. You touch the small pistol hidden in your dress. Shoot first. The estate is everything you expected, golden stone, manicured gardens, hundreds of guests in formal wear. Sophia looks radiant in white. Min Jun's brother, Junwoo, waits at the altar, hunger carved into every feature. You take your seats 6 rows back. The ceremony begins. Standard words about love and commitment, each one ringing hollow. Then Min Jun pulls out his phone and hits send. The screens around the ballroom flicker. Go black. Come back on showing security footage, Sophia in the wine cellar, speaking into her phone. Audio plays, her voice confirming the hit, discussing timeline, laughing about how easy Min Jun would be to kill. Chaos erupts. Guests surge to their feet. Family elders look murderous. Junwoo's face goes white, then red with fury. Who dares, he roars. I do. Min Jun stands, revealing himself. Hello, brother. Did you miss me? The room explodes. Soldiers reach for weapons. Guests stampede. And Min Jun walks calmly down the aisle, pulling you with him. You're supposed to be dead, Junwoo snarls. Disappointing, isn't it? Min Jun's smile is blade sharp. But let's talk about your fraud, marrying my fiancée while she carries your child. Genetic testing confirms it. This ceremony is illegitimate. You have no claim to anything. Junwoo pulls a gun. But he doesn't point it at Min Jun. He points it at you. Let's see how brave you are when your little pet is bleeding out. Time slows. You see Min Jun's expression shift to raw terror. You see Sophia reaching for something in her bouquet. You remember the weapon in your dress. 3 things happen simultaneously. Junwoo fires. You fire. The room erupts. The bullet hits your chest exactly where the ballistic weave is. It feels like being kicked by a horse, but it doesn't penetrate. You stay standing. Junwoo isn't so lucky. Your shot catches him in the shoulder, spinning him around. Then chaos consumes everything. Costa soldiers and Kong enforcers open fire. Wedding guests stampede. Min Jun grabs you, pulling you behind a column as bullets tear through the space you'd occupied. Sophia appears, gun raised, wedding dress torn and bloodstained. You ruined everything, she hisses at you. I was never nothing, you say. And throw yourself forward. You struggle. Her strength surprises you. But you find the knife in her bouquet and don't hesitate. The blade slides between her ribs. Her eyes go wide. She crumples. You're just a waitress, she gasps. I was a waitress. You step back. Now I'm something else. Min Jun leads you through chaos, his body constantly between you and danger. You burst into gardens where an SUV waits. Behind you, the estate burns. Only when you're miles away do you let yourself breathe. You killed her, Min Jun says quietly. Yes. You stare at your hands. I killed her myself. How do you feel? You wait for guilt. For horror. But all you feel is satisfied. Free. I survived. He pulls you against him. You did more than survive. You conquered. 3 months later, your father wakes from his coma. The doctors call it a miracle. Min-jun calls it expensive medicine. You call it grace. The fortress by the lake is home now. You've added color to the gray plants, books, touches of warmth. Your father lives in the East Wing, recovering. The Kong Empire continues, but differently. Min-jun is working to legitimize it, to phase out the worst violence. It will take years. Some things will never be clean or moral. But you're trying. That has to count for something. On a cold December night, exactly 1 year after the wedding massacre, Min-jun finds you by the windows, watching snow fall over the frozen lake. Regretting your choice, he asks. Never. You turn in his embrace. You gave me my father back. You gave me power. You made me visible. I also made you a killer. No. You press your hand against his chest. You made me a survivor. There's a difference. He kisses you then, soft and deep and claiming. Outside, snow covers everything in white, making the world look clean and new. It's an illusion. Underneath, the violence remains. The Empire. The enemies circling. But you'll face them together. Monster and Waitress. Killer and survivor. King and queen of a brutal empire built on a single note slipped across a restaurant table. 7 words that changed everything. If you made it to the end, thank you for reading. This story proves that sometimes our smallest acts of courage create the biggest changes. That power isn't always loud, sometimes it's just a note, a choice, a moment of deciding someone's life is worth saving. Please subscribe for more dark romance and dangerous love stories. Comment what you'd have done in Nia's position. Would you have written a note? What happens when mercy collides with danger? Until next time, remember, you never know when one small act of bravery will transform your entire life. That stranger you helped today might become your everything tomorrow. See you in the next story.